Hey everybody, we're back on the CX500 Scrambler project, and in this one I'm doing disassembly of 2 wheels so we can start building up a 17-inch rear for this Scrambler project. So let me show you step by step exactly what I did. Alright everybody, we're going to get started on these wheels. So on the left we have the Goldwing wheel, which is a 17, and on the right of course we have a standard CX500 rear wheel. 16-inch, 17-inch. Now what we want to do is utilize the CX500 hub and then replace the spoke sections and then the outer rim with those from the Goldwing. Now the cool thing is the hubs share a similar bolt pattern here where the spokes attach, so all the dimensions there are essentially critical for the areas we need on this, which means that we can take these spokes off, put them on here along with the 17-inch rim, and have a factory fitting part. So the difficult part, some of these, like this Goldwing, they have like a weird 3-sided kind of nut on them. We have to be really careful disassembling these. They're obviously not reusable. And then we're going to have to go ahead and drill out the rivets as well. So it's going to be a little bit complicated, but I'm going to try to walk you through what it's going to take for this process. I've never done it before, so definitely realize that. But I'm going to do the best I can, and any information I give is going to be safe and hopefully effective for you guys. But definitely be warned. Don't just be trying this because you saw it on this video. So just be warned. Alright, so we've got a few of the rivets out, and I think I've got a nice system down here. So let me share with you the size drill bits and the method behind what I'm doing here and why you want to do it. So I'm going to set the camera down and come right back at you. Alright, so our main goal is obviously to get these rivets out. And to do this safely, you need to make sure you're not damaging the rim at any bit at all. So be very, very careful here. So if you measure the rivet, 7.02 millimeters, okay? Now I'm using a 9/32 drill bit here, and it measures basically right, yeah, so it measures right at that, very, very similar, and that's to make sure I don't damage the wheel, but it's very important that you mark and drill the very center of the rivet. So what I've been doing is I take a center punch and I get very, very carefully find center the best I can, give it a little center mark, and then I drill out that punch just a little bit until the height of the rivet here, until it looks like I've drilled down enough to where the inner edge would be just barely there. And the purpose of that is once you drill out a little bit of the top, you start hitting it with a punch, and then that'll just break the end off. Now you can get away with this with using like a larger drill bit and just barely going down, and sometimes the bit will just bite into this ring and rip it off, and that's also okay too, but in that instance you run the risk of running the bit in too far and getting into the material in the spoke. So that's what I'm just wanting to try to avoid, and this seems to be working really good right now, so let me kind of show you in real time how it's working for me. So the first thing is to, delicately as possible, find center. And from here, I'm going to drill it a little bit. Just go a little bit at a time, use your best judgment. Okay, that should get me really close here. Now I'm just going to start hammering it with the punch, and hopefully it will break free. If it doesn't go after like 4 or 5 or so, you probably just need to go a little further. There you have it. Made it all the way around. Got all the rivets, all the tops of the rivets popped off without re-drilling one. Pretty much an expert now. So one of the things I'm doing here is I want to keep the spokes with the rim and in order relation to the other spokes on both wheels. So might end up using this in the future, who knows. But I'm going to do this on the Goldwing wheel as well. I just have a paint marker and I'm just writing 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, you know, you get the idea, all the way around for each spoke to make sure they stay in the same order. And I'm going to do that on this wheel, and then whenever I transfer those spokes and rim onto this thing, they're all going to be in the same order that they came apart. It's just be extra careful, you know everything fits. Alright, so next up we're removing these center nuts and bolts. So this little round pin right here, that's designed to lock this nut into that bolt. Now you can see there's actually a groove drilled into this thing that a pin sits in. So I guess what I'm finding right now is I'm just taking a cutoff wheel and I'm just putting like a cross mark in here, trying to get on the actual pin, kind of eliminating it, and then using you know, I have a 12mm on the back side of this, and then just an impact with a 12, and then it just like cracks loose, and then I can usually just, seems like I can just pull the nut off real quick, back the bolts out, and we're good to go. So I'm gonna fire up the GoPro and see if I can demonstrate. So I've gone almost all the way through the pin and then almost all the way through the bottom or the flange of the nut. There you have it. can see that worked pretty good. Just trying to make sure you get that pin out of there. So these are one-time use things, and I wanted to make sure that if you did take those out, you're not going to reuse them. They can be like a torque to yield bolt, and then they're of course drilled and set. So anyway, we have our hub. Now we just need to disassemble the Goldwing wheel, and we can start putting stuff back together. Alright, so we're on to the Goldwing wheel here, and these things, or at least this particular wheel, has a different type of bolt on it. Instead of having a traditional 6-point like a regular head, this one has like, I don't know, it's like a three-sided kind of rounded edge. It's obviously meant to not be tampered with. And the nut on the other side is the same thing. So I just figured from the get-go the easiest thing is just to cut it in half and try to cut through 99% of the nut. You know, try to cut down and just, you know, obviously don't touch the rim at all. And then from there, put a chisel, just a couple taps, should break the nut apart. And then you can just tap the bolt out and no big deal. So that's what I'm doing for the rest of these, but it worked really quick. Well, all in all, not too bad to disassemble these things. I definitely just wanted to take my time, do it methodically, not damage anything. And if you look at any of the holes where the rivets pass through on either rim, there's no evidence of a drill bit touching them, and that's the important thing. So as of now, what I want to do is start measuring out hardware, and then I want to go ahead and get some stuff ordered, and then we can start the assembly process of the wheel. So not sure when this one's going to go up, but I want to try to put them up close together once the second thing is done. So, or once the assembly is done, I want to put both of them up pretty close to each other so you guys can watch them back to back, and we'll do a disassembly and then an assembly. And I just want to make sure we do this right, and I want to make sure it's safe. I want to make sure I give you guys good information. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully soon we'll have the assembly video up. I'm getting ready to start mocking this thing up right now. I have it all cleaned up. We have ceramic coat on everything. We have all of our new hardware. And yeah, hopefully this is going to be a smooth process. So look for that video soon. But anyway, hopefully you guys found this one informative. And yeah, if you have any questions, just feel free to leave them below. I'll do my best to answer anything I got. And yeah, also, before we close it off, I understand that each spoke says do not disassemble. So if you guys haven't done this yourselves and you think it's not going to work and you want to comment below saying that this is a bad idea and stuff like that, please just, you know, just forget doing that, because there are a lot of people who have done this successfully that I trust with good information. So that's my goal with this, is to give good information to you guys, not suggest that you go out cutting up a bunch of wheels or anything like that, but anybody who is interested in doing this, I want to try to provide some kind of guidelines or some kind of information, some kind of quality information for you guys, so you do it safely. But anyway, again, that's going to do it for this one. Look for the next video soon, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.